Are you traveling to Europe soon? Here are a few things you'll want to know, but first, I'm Brandon with the Adept Traveler, and this is COVID Travel Explained. In June, the European Union placed the United States on their safe list. This was a non-binding recommendation to countries within the EU, and it recommended allowing non-essential travel from the US. Many countries opened their borders to US visitors. Now, just a few months later, at the end of August, the EU removed the US from its safe list. This is yet another non-binding recommendation that visitors from the US be denied entry for non-essential travel. By non-binding, I mean that each country can choose what travelers they will accept and what policies or procedures must be followed to gain entry. Now, member countries are starting to take this advice and are issuing new and updated travel rules. Here are a few countries and some updated rules to pay attention to. The Netherlands is now denying entry for unvaccinated Americans. Fully vaccinated visitors will be required to quarantine for 10 days. They are allowing for visitors in quarantine to be tested 5 days in, and if the test is negative, then they will allow the visitor to end quarantine early. Denmark is denying entry for unvaccinated Americans. However, fully vaccinated U.S. travelers are currently allowed to visit at this time without testing or quarantine. Italy, one of the first countries to welcome U.S. visitors, has reintroduced testing requirements. Travelers must provide a negative COVID test no more than 72 hours before traveling. Spain is also reinstating COVID entry requirements. They are now requiring visitors to provide proof of a full vaccination, a certificate of recovery, or a negative COVID test. The certificate of recovery must be no older than 180 days from the date the first positive test was confirmed. The accepted COVID tests are the molecular NAAT, such as a PCR, taken no more than 72 hours prior, or an antigen test taken no more than 48 hours prior to travel. In many cases, children under the age of 12 are exempt from these restrictions. Of course, that's going to change country to country. If you have a trip upcoming, we advise you to stay in contact with your travel advisor. We are expecting many of these rules to change between now and spring 2022, as well as for other countries to issue more stringent requirements. Also expect longer wait times going through custom and immigration. And do keep in mind that any foreign travel will require a negative COVID test to board the return flight. Positive results will result in a 14-day quarantine in whichever country you are in before being allowed to board a flight back to the US. COVID Travel Explained is brought to you by The Adept Traveler, a travel agency that specializes in accessible travel. Our belief is that everybody, from the novice to the expert, from the able-bodied to the disabled, should be able to travel and to travel well. Our goal is to help them, or you, to do so. If you'd like to know more about the Adept Traveler, please visit our website at adept.travel. To stay updated on travel news, tips, tricks, and other insights, which we hope will help you to travel well, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. And of course, you can visit our website at adept.travel.